my friends, it's me, Kids Bowman, again. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for joining me on this mini video. I'm going to do another read it out for you guys for story time together as we learn and listen. Therefore, I'm going to do another Disney's Read It Out stories for you guys, since I have previously read all of 100 Disney book titles. I hope you enjoyed so far. I really appreciate you all for support my channel. First of all, I'll show the book I've got that I'm going to read to you. I've got Walt Disney's Donald Duck's Tallest Tale. It was published by Disney's Wonder of Reading and Grolier Book edition. So, are you here to join me for story time with me? That's good. You came to the right place. So, I'm going to read this book through words by words from each page, and also going to show some of those fantastic illustrations from each page. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Donald Duck liked to tell the tall tales. Donald and his friends talked about many things, but Donald had to have a last word about fishing, for example. One day, Donald, Mickey and Goofy went fishing. They sat on the edge of the dock. This is great," said Goofy. "It reminds me of the time I went fishing by myself. I felt the tug on my fishing line. I decided to reel the line in. Well, what a fish! Oh, it was huge. The fish dived under the water. I almost went under too. Finally, I cut the line." "That's nothing," said Donald. "Here's my fishing story. I hooked a little fish, then a big fish came along. It was a swordfish. It snapped up my little fish. It cut the fishing line. It almost cut the bite in half. I was lucky to get home alive." This was one of Donald's tall tales. Another day, the three friends went on a picnic. They drove out to the country. They saw a nice spot under the big tree. A great place for the picnic," said Donald. "Moo," said a cow from a farm next door. She thought the food looked good. "Well," said Mickey, "that cow reminds me of something. It reminds me of when I was out collecting butterflies," said Mickey. "Butterflies," said Donald. "Yes, Donald," said Mickey. "I chased one, but it led me right to the bull. I ran away very quickly. I remembered what bullfighters do. I took off my jacket. I waved it around. The bull kept trying to run into the jacket, but I made sure he kept missing it. So soon he got tired." "How about the time I met a giant in the forest?" said Donald. The giant laughed. "When he saw me, he thought he could crush me with his foot. At first I was scared. Then I walked right up to him. I punched him in the knee. I locked him over. I hit him hard again, just like that." Mickey and Goofy just smiled. They did not believe this tall tale. Soon Donald decided to go on another trip. He was taking his nephews, Huey, Dewey and Louie, with him. The nephews packed the car. Donald carried his fine old camera. "We are going to the desert," said Donald. We'll have an adventure. We will look for the trace of ancient people and animals. I will take pictures with my very special camera." Donald packed the camera carefully. Soon the whole car was packed. They were off. Have a good trip, called Mickey and Goofy. I will come back with a good story, said Donald. Mickey and Goofy laughed. They had heard that before. That afternoon, they arrived in the desert. They saw a mystery mesa. That's it, cried Donald. Mystery mesa is where people and animals lived long ago. It is a large, steep rock with a flat top. Donald packed the car. He gave the orders. The nephews unpacked the car and set up the camp. Soon the sun set. It was bright orange. Donald and his nephews ate their picnic supper. We must wake up early, said Donald. The nephew fell asleep right away, but not Donald. He was so excited. He was up at sunrise to climb the mesa. Up he climbed. He rested on a small ledge. He did not see anything ancient yet. On he climbed. At last, Donald reached the top of the mesa. The sun was hot up there. Donald walked on when, swoosh, he slid into the hole. Down he fell, down. He bounced on his head. Then he landed with a crash. When Donald looked around, he was amazed. The light on his hat lit up the walls. Well, he said, look at the ancient drawings on the walls. This discovery will make me famous. Donald took many pictures. Everyone will be proud of me, he said. I will win awards. Soon he was ready to leave. He looked around. There was no way out, but he had to climb out through the hole he had fallen in. He struggled to get out. Rocks kept slipping. At the top, Donald grabbed the branch. He pulled himself up. Stones and rocks began to fall. They blocked the tunnel. Phew! Whoa, said Donald. Now no one will be able to see those drawings. My photos will be only record. I will be a hero. At the bottom of the mesa, Donald saw Huey, Louie, and Dewey. They were glad to see their uncle. Can we climb too? They asked. Sorry, boys, said Donald, but we must hurry home. Back home, Donald rushed to the camera shop. Develop this right away, he said. He invited Mickey and Goofy to come over the next evening. The trip was great, said Donald. I discovered the cave of the ancient drawings on the wall. A people of a long ago drove them. Wow, said Mickey. Will you take us there? Sorry, said Donald. I barely got out. As I got to the top of the tunnel, stones and rocks slid down and blocked it up. My pictures are only the record. The nephews ran in just then. They had the pictures. Donald pulled them out quickly. But what was this? Oh no, he said. He looked at a few more pictures. Oh no, he said again. Mickey grabbed the pictures. Look, he said, a picture of Donald's hand. Mickey started to laugh. Donald was famous. All of the pictures are of Donald's hands, said Goofy. Donald had no held the camera correctly. Great pictures, said Mickey, grinning. Great story too, said Groovy. We can't top that one. But this time my story is true, said Donald. It's true. Goofy and Mickey laughed all the way home. Maybe the story was true, but they hoped Donald had learned a lesson. This is the end of the story about Donald Duck went to the toilet, talk about his tallest tales about his trip in the desert of Mount Desert. So, I hope you enjoyed this video about reading the story of Donald Duck's tallest tale. So, we're wholly dedicated to a magical legacy of Walt Disney Company behind the animation studios has been changed around over time since 1923. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'm glad you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon.